happening now. The DEA sounding the alarm, warning cartel-run fentanyl labs that are no longer small-time operations, industrial-scale super labs that are tied to a complex network of smugglers, brokers, and foreign suppliers. And this is not just happening in Mexico anymore. NewsNation's Jorge Ventura joining us live from San Antonio with the latest on the DEA's findings here. Jorge, how are these labs in Mexico evolving, and what are authorities uncovering there on the ground?
Well, Marni, the DEA says that the Mexican cartel's fentanyl empire has now gone global, working like a multinational business all over the world. And a new report by the DEA now detailing how Mexican cartels are working with Chinese chemical brokers using encrypted platforms and relying on transshipment companies to bring in mislabeled precursor chemicals, and often through third countries. And in some cases, those shipments are actually sent to the U.S. or Canada first, then smuggled into Mexico. And just in the last few weeks, several fentanyl labs have been dismantled in Sinaloa. Mexican authorities, in some cases, now working alongside U.S. partners, uncovering massive chemical stockpiles and industrial-scale lab equipment. Now, these aren't just backyard setups anymore. They're full-on drug factories, seizing items including hundreds of containers filled with precursor chemicals. Authorities also discovered metal reactors, condensers, burners, and even a stash site with over 2,000 liters of chemical waste, all linked to synthetic drug production. Now, while the numbers do tell part of that story, some agents working with these cases say that firsthand on the ground, they're seeing a real shift between cooperation with U.S. and Mexico, but still not enough.
I have seen an increase of activity in a positive way with Mexico. And unfortunately, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but it's not nearly close to what I think the U.S. government has in mind to eradicate the cartels from existence.
So while U.S. and Mexican teams are cooperating more than before, the DEA says cartels continue to evolve, shifting their platforms, expanding partnerships, and scaling operations in new ways that are now harder to detect, Marni.
Speaking of Canada, Jorge, that operation expanding further north, how is that being impacted or becoming part of the fentanyl pipeline?
So the DEA now says that Canada is now a cause of concern when it comes to fentanyl production. Now, it's nowhere near the scale of Mexico, but authorities say they are still concerned that that could be the next hub of fentanyl production once the Mexican government starts to crack down in Mexico. Now, Canadian authorities actually last year, they did bust a fentanyl super lab and what's described as highly sophisticated, similar to what authorities were actually seeing in Mexico. Now, while the volume is still much lower, just 6.3 kilograms of fentanyl seized at the U.S.-Canada border last year, compared to over 9,000 kilograms from the southern border. Officials worry that Canada could possibly fill the gap if production in Mexico is disrupted. So far, Canadian labs haven't reached the same scale, but the infrastructure is already there. And with cartels constantly adapting, the DEA warns it's not a matter of when, but the matter of fact that Canada becomes a major secondary hub in fentanyl trade. So as of right now, U.S. government continues to pressure both Canada and Mexico. But my sources in Mexico, Marni, do say that they've never seen this amount of pressure when it comes to cracking down on cartel activity. One of the Sinaloa cartel's top-ranked members was recently killed in operation. So we are seeing those new levels of cooperation, but U.S. authorities still feel more can be done.
Yeah, trying to stay one step ahead of these cartels. Jorge, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.